Life needs to be funny. Life needs to be very light-hearted. We take things too seriously, right? Life needs to be very light-hearted. My name is Root Lightheart. This is the name that I gave myself, along with I Create Lines, of course. But lately, I named myself Root Lightheart. Root because of groundedness, and Lightheart because there is an Egyptian goddess of justice and balance, Mayat, M-A/A-T. And she is like Saint John at the heaven's gates, quote unquote, when you die. And you can substitute this when you die. It could be just at the end of any transition in your life. It could be at the end of a day. Doesn't matter. At the end of an era, at the end of an aeon, or however you want to see cycles in your life. So, at the end of a cycle in a life, and that could be death, and it could be something in a day, Saint John or Mayat kind of weighs whether you get into heaven or not. And heaven is basically right here on earth. It is your state of being. Heaven and hell are states of being here in the physical. So you can be here in your body experiencing heaven, or you can be here in your body experiencing hell. And it depends on how light-hearted are you. How serious are you taking life? How clenching are we? How resistant are we to life? How strongly do we resist what the body needs? How strongly do we resist what we need in this now moment? The more we resist, the more sins you accumulate, because the sin is basically anything that goes against yourself. It's speaking things you don't believe in. It's saying yes when you want to say no. It's saying no when you want to say yes. It's denying yourself things that you know that you need in this world in order to thrive. It's not allowing yourself to love yourself. This is what the etymology of the word sin is, based on the, what are their names? The book is the Four Agreements. Anyway, they're saying, right? Sin is anything that you commit that goes against yourself. And of course, by extension, if you commit something against another person, you go against yourself, because when we speak hate to another person, someone's walking by and you say not ideal things to them, not the best things to them. In order for you to tell them these things, those things need to get conjured in your emotional field first, and then they have to go through your throat, through your mouth, out. So you're spitting poison on somebody, right? You're spitting hate, you're spitting judgment, projection, whatever it is. As you spit it out, it first needs to be in you, and then it needs to be in your throat, and then it needs to go out through your mouth. And before it even hits the other person, it's like you need to have a direct experience of your own poison before you blast it off into somebody else. And it's not even the same amount, because when you spit the poison, the other person can be like, they can just evade it. Of course, not physically like this, but in themselves, if they know how to practice self-love, they are swallowing love all the time by breathing, by being. This is where we want to be. That when someone else spits poison, you don't swallow the poison, You swallow your own, I mean, swallow, you know, it's not about swallowing, it's about feeding yourself, nourishing yourself. So, yeah, self love is not selfish. We don't, we need to give ourselves, we need to fill our cups always. Don't make a mistake if somebody has told you otherwise through your life that self care and self love is selfish, that putting yourself first is selfish. If, let's say, you're a parent, if you're not healthy, you can do nothing for your kids. If you're not stable, you cannot give them stability. If you're not balanced emotionally, you cannot give them emotional balance. And that's the same with your job. That's the same with everything. So therefore, when people around you take self-love seriously and self-care and time for themselves and boundaries, and you feel that's not right, you might not be giving yourself enough. You might feel guilty. How many of you guys feel guilty when you take time for yourself? Drop it in the chat. That has been a big thing for me, for many people in this world. Resting, prioritizing me, my voice, my needs. But like, if I'm not healthy and I help you get out of the water, you're gonna pull me down and then two people will drown. There's a lot of rhymes. Wherever there's an I create lines. You cannot give somebody anything if you are not overflowing. Only when our cup is overflowing can we actually sustainably give something to another person. So when you give yourself, you are giving the world. Because only in your balanced, good state can you actually be of service. If you feel guilty of, I'm taking time for myself, I should be giving to everyone else. If you give to everyone else all the time, there's going to come a point where you are gone. How good is that? Like, who benefits from that, right? You want to be here for a long time and you want to give to a lot of people. So, yes, I'm working on this. My mom has Alzheimer's. I try to make decisions for both our health. She's living at an assisted living program. In order for you to be strong for her, you need to be strong. In order for you to be there for her, you still need to be there. Like, period. You need to exist. You need to have like, if our only motivation is to martyr, this is basically the opposite of all this, is martyrdom. I'm gonna help the world by obliterating who I am. This is what a lot of us, especially if you are an empath, and I bet you are being here, we are martyred. We are martyrs. When I give a little, she wants more. Ah, no. I've realized something being like a highly sensitive person, being a projector in human design, being an empath, a mediator, medium, spiritual advisor, all these things, guide, therapist, is that the world is in such a state that almost everyone is in lack. You can see this by how people treat value, how people treat money, and also how people treat their own lives and how people treat their value and worth and self-worth in the world. To a point where in order to stay who you are, you need to be the one to say no. This can be a big thing that we can go into, and this can be a big thing for this live, is if you're a giver, you need to stop when you have to stop. Because if you're a giver and you are around people who are takers, and this is not good or evil, guys. I'm not talking about good versus evil. No. Every person is a gray area. Every person is a yin and yang. I'm here helping everyone, and at the other side, if I needed to choose between myself and any one of you, I would choose myself. Just like everybody should. You're here to live your life. That doesn't mean I would push anybody off a cliff. It just means that at any point, if it was I die or you die, it would be you. If it came to that. And you gotta know that you would do the same thing if somebody's holding a gun to your head. So this is just me saying that nobody is fully good and nobody is fully evil as well. So just to sidetrack from that, right? Is that givers and takers, this is not about good or evil people. This is about pure energy economy, pure sustainability, nothing else, nothing personal, absolutely nothing personal. This is nothing other than, can I do this every day for long periods of time and still feel good about my own life? Because if we are helping others to the point where it's destroying you, you're not doing any good to anyone. You might feel virtuous, heroic, or any of these things. Changing the world, helping. No. You are much more valuable if you are still here with us and you don't help anyone than if you help 1,000 people and you die the next day. Because over the course of your lifetime, there are so many more beautiful things any one of us can do, actually. And it's better that you are here again tomorrow. Just like 20 minutes of yoga every day is better than 2 times, 3 times a week breaking yourself for 2 hours in a gym. It's frequency, sustainable frequency over intensity. And this is for other people as well. So if you have people who are takers around you, they are codependent. And you are also codependent by giving it to them. You're getting something from this. So for example, if it's our parents, we might be guilt-tripped into doing this. It might be tradition, it might be shame, it might be, there might have been a point much earlier in this whole process where you could have done something different. So you are not there as the only branch for people to hold on to. I'm not saying we shouldn't help each other. We should definitely help each other. We should definitely be there for one another. We are unity. We are one. We are love. We are the big L, big light, big life, big love. And on the other hand, if you're not there, if you don't have a spark that gets you up, gets you going. You need to have both of those things. Like, I can be here helping you guys. I love doing this. I love speaking to people. I love being connected to the streams of consciousness on platforms like Insight Timer. And then, when the live is done, I also need to be able to do my doodling, my painting, my martial arts, my dancing, my rhymes, watch my anime, go out and swim, eat beautiful figs tomorrow. And if there's nothing like if I don't fill up my cup, these lives, this is nothing. This is nothing. We can be of service to others. You gotta serve yourself first. So, contrary to what you've been told, self-love is not selfish. It's the most opposite of that. The most selfish thing is not taking care of yourself. Because then you depend on everyone else to fill your cup. And isn't that the most selfish thing ever? Everyone else, take care of me. World, feed me. I don't mean food, I mean soul food. Attention, emotions. Then we become a burden. And then all self-love is gone. Does anyone have any questions? We can do Q&A time where you can ask a question and I can give you an answer. Feel free to donate. Feel free to check out my courses. Human Design Basics there's 4,000 people. I'm gonna link it now. Human Design Basics. 4,000 students. There's many courses on my channel. There's Human Design Basics, Intermediate, Advanced. 2 new courses I've uploaded are Soul Retrieval and Receive the Earth. Soul Retrieval is if you want to get your memories back and vitality back. It's a practice course. And Receive the Earth is a shamanic journey. It's basically like going on a psychedelic trip without actually taking anything. It's my transmission as a medium between the mycelial kingdom underground, the earth spirit speaking through me through mushrooms. And it's a course of like, if you ever wanted to feel what it's like but never had the courage to actually take substances, this is the next best thing, where I've translated, I see myself as a translator of the earth, as an ambassador of these intelligences that are speaking to some of us, not through language. So I am a medium in this sense. So Human Design Basics and all the other courses are on my profile. Does anybody have any questions? The topic is self-love, selfishness, self-care. What is it? Emotional, mental health of any kind. You can ask also human design questions. My name is I Create Lines, Root Lightheart, EA, or Dennis. Dennis is my mortal name. Not mortal, let's not say mortal, because I am immortal. My genetic name? My ancestral name? What would be a good word for this. Muggle. Muggle. If you know Harry Potter, muggles are people that don't use magic. So Dennis is my muggle name. Dennis is the name given to me by my non-wizard parents.